Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to take a look at the Haolonggood Quetzalcoatlus. Now this figure is kind of an odd release. It's being built across AliExpress as a GR Toys release. However, as far as I can tell, it is not. Haolonggood does collaborate with GR Toys, but as far as I can tell, this is a release solely by them. And I actually had no clue about this release. It just randomly popped up in my AliExpress recommendations. And GR Toys usually does a pretty decent job of promoting their products. So this came totally out of left field. But now it all makes sense that it wasn't a release by them. This figure retails for around $35, and that's a pretty good deal because you don't get one figure in the box, you actually get two. You get the fully painted Quetzalcoatlus model, and you get a white copy that you can paint yourself. There's actually a contest going on. I could not find really much information where to send the pictures, but apparently, if you paint up this white Quetzalcoatlus, you can send it in and you can win. I think there's like 3 prizes, and they're all GR Toys products. I'll leave a link to the AliExpress store where I ordered this figure from down below in the description. If you skim through the description for the figure on the AliExpress store, it'll give you the information about how the contest works. Like I said, no idea where to send it to, so if anyone knows, please drop a comment down below. Now let's just go over the packager really quick before we take a look at these figures. You got the Haolonggood logo on top. It says white model +1. Everyone could be a great artist. 135 scale. You got a nice picture of the painted Quetzalcoatlus on the front. And then inside the box you do get a nice little postcard with a picture of the painted Quetz. And on the back you get a nice picture of the skeletal of Quetzalcoatlus. And if you look down here you can see the gray areas. These are the known elements of the largest species of Quetzalcoatlus. I think it's Neuropi. And that's pretty cool. And then, you know what? Let's just go over the white figure that you get inside the package really quick. It's just the unpainted version. You can see there is no mouth attached. That is because it comes in a separate baggie. And let me just open it up, and which is a good idea because, if you're painting this thing, it has an articulated jaw. It's kind of tough, so it's nice that they included the lower jaw separate, and you get this little piece right here. This is for the back of the throat. So yeah, pretty cool idea, throwing in this white version. If you're handy with a paintbrush, you're basically getting 2 figures for the price of one. And it's a pretty cool idea. And for 35 bucks, you're getting 2 large figures. I think it's a pretty good deal. So let's start with this 360-degree view of the Quetzalcoatlus. A pretty nice looking figure, especially for $35. Now that I know that this is not a GR Toys release, the paint scheme is not as nice as the other GR Toys product, but it still works. I like the bright yellow on the beak that slowly transitions to a bright orange with a little bit of black at the tips. Nice bright red head crest. You have lots of browns for the top part of the body. All those fibers and feathers are nicely painted. The underside is white with a nice gray wash to bring out all that feathering detail. And I'm just noticing this right now. I guess there's a broken toe on my figure. I've had it for about a week and didn't notice it till right now. So yeah, that sucks. I'm gonna have to check the box and see if it's snapped off in there. But other than that, it's nice to get Pterosaur figures that are in a quadrupedal stance. I'm not a fan of flying Pterosaur figures. I tend to avoid them, but as long as companies keep making Pterosaurs that can stand and look nice on my shelf, I will continue to keep buying them. All right, let's do a couple quick measurements. This figure is about 7 inches tall to the top of the crest, and I'll just do a head measurement. The head is just over 3 inches long. So Quetzalcoatlus in real life is really big. It's one of the largest known animals to ever take flight. Had a wingspan of over 30 feet long. So the largest species of Quetzalcoatlus, Neuropi, it's really not known from a lot of great material, but the estimation is that it was around 9.8 feet at the shoulder. So on this figure, the shoulder comes to around 3¼ inches, so I'll put this figure nicely in that 135 scale range. All right, let's zoom in and take a look at some of the finer details on this figure, starting with that head sculpt. The eye is a little funky looking. It's just white with a black pupil. It's not greatly applied. Kind of give me a little bit of a Mattel vibes right there, but it works. You can see the nostril is nicely sculpted, a lot of nice texture in before the nostril, and then tapers off into that nice beak and nice yellow. It transitions to orange and then into a black tip. The lower jaw is also painted in yellow with that same color transition. I kind of wish the yellow, abruptly stops at the base of the throat. Kind of wish, more of the beak was sculpted in here. Then you have a nice transition to the brown, so it's kind of an abrupt start. And you can see this figure has an articulated jaw, and that is one of the faults with this figure. The articulated jaw is incredibly loose. It's really tough to get it in a closed position. You can kind of finagle it around and maybe squeeze a little bit and it'll stay shut, but the slightest little tap, it will open. So I'm probably going to go and get some clear nail polish and give the inside of the mouth that wet look. You can see it's a matte finish in there. You got some pink and purple mixing in, so I think I'm just going to go all over this figure with clear nail polish, and especially a lot around the gum tissue right here to kind of thicken that up, to add some friction resistance for the lower jaw, so it doesn't just swing open and hang loose all the time. So let's go back to the top of the jaw. You got some really nice detail in the mouth. You can see the esophagus. Actually, those are the nasal passages right there. That's always a cool touch. I always love when figure manufacturers add that nice little detail. You can see the back of the throat is nicely painted. So yeah, the mouth details are really nice on this figure. Just the articulated jaw is not executed that well. And let's take a look at the front view of the figure. My hands are shaking like crazy today. I just drank way too much coffee. Going down to the neck, you can see all those nice fibers are nicely sculpted in there. You got some nice striping pattern on the very long neck. Quetzalcoatlus was really tall. They're about the height of a giraffe, so these are really big animals. You have some dry brushing of white on the back to highlight those fibers, and then on the underside the throat is all white. You have some black speckles thrown in there, a little bit of a gray dry brushing to bring out all those nice fibers. You can see the underside of the arms also has some of those fibers on it. And then going down to the hands, let's see if my camera wants to focus in on these tiny little hands. They are sculpted, painted in black, and come on, focus, there we go. And then going around the other side, this is where I noticed that one of the claws is snapped off. I have not checked the box yet. Hopefully it's in there. If not, do I cannibalize a finger off the white model, or do I just maybe sculpt my own and fix it? I'm probably just going to sculpt my own and fix it if I can't find the piece. You can see the wings are nicely sculpted, a lot of nice folds in there for that folded wing look. Really nice. You got some more black speckles on here, some pink thrown in, some black striping, and then going down to the tail, you have a very tiny tail on this figure. Like I said, it's a nicely painted figure. It's not the best, but like I said, for 35 bucks, you really can't complain. If this was a PNSO release, it'll probably be $60, and we'd all be complaining about the paint job on it. But it works for what it is. I'm happy with the figure. You got some nice pink on the underside. Pretty nice looking figure. Like I said, really happy to have a Quetzalcoatlus that's around 135 scale that can stand up. It looks really great on the shelf. All right, moving on with comparisons. Here it is with Papo's Quetzalcoatlus, and they're pretty much around the same size. I think the Quetz one, even though it's in a crouch down position, is slightly larger, but they do look really nice next to each other. Maybe you can have this as a sexually dimorphic display. And let's do a couple more Papo pterosaurs. Here it is with their really neat looking Tapajara. And let's do one more Papo pterosaur. Here it is with their, oh god, I never was a fan of this figure, their Dimorphodon. And here it is with Safari Limited Pteranodon. And let's do some GR Toys comparison. Here it is with their Spinosaurus, which was their first release. And here it is with their Carcharodontosaurus. And lastly, for GR Toy releases, here it is with their Dicraeosaurus. And next up, here it is next to PNSO's T-Rex, and while we got the Rex out here, let's do a little end of the Cretaceous North America group shot. Here it is with Triceratops, PNSO's Pachycephalosaurus, and their Ankylosaurus. And I hope someday someone decides to make a nice 135 scale Alamosaurus. I'd love to display it with the Rex and Quetzalcoatlus. So final thoughts on this Quetzalcoatlus. I really like this figure. I'm a big fan of pterosaurs and quadrupedal positions, so it looks really nice on my display shelf. Negatives, the paint scheme is, it's good. It's not great, but for $35, you can't really complain. And plus, you're getting two figures for the price of one. If you're handy with a brush, you can paint up that white figure that came with this and have two Quetzalcoatlus on your shelf. Biggest drawback is the jaw articulation. It is not well executed. It's very loose. It's tough to keep the mouth shut. And for most of us, it's been hanging on our shelves with its mouth wide open. Like I said during the review, I'm going to try to thicken it up with some clear nail polish coat and see if that will hold it into place. Obviously, for this, end of the review thing, I put a little bit of poster tack in there to keep the mouth shut. And if you're wondering what those little sauropod figures are, those are Safari Limited Good Luck Minis. It's their little Patasaurus figures. They are subbing in for Alamosaurus hatchlings. So yeah, I do recommend this figure. It's not often we get a lot of pterosaur figures, and Quetzalcoatlus is a popular pterosaur, and it's probably going to get more popular when it shows up in Dominion. And like I said at the beginning of my review, I got this figure from AliExpress. The link to that store is down below in the description. So that will do it for the review. Out of new stuff yet again to review, so I'm going to keep chipping away at some older figures. And my plan is to maybe get like one old review up a week to kind of fill up the catalog on the YouTube channel. So as always, if you're enjoying the content on this channel, show your support by hitting that subscription button just below the video. Each subscription helps out the channel tremendously and is greatly appreciated. I'll see you guys for the next one.